What's going on, everyone? Here's what I got for you guys today. I am going to show you how categories work and how to build a team. Alright, so you go to your team button. Then let's say I'm going to just go to this random team. I was using this for Super Battle Road. So click change all. And I'm just going to remove all so I start fresh. So let's say you do some summons, right? And you get a brand new shiny unit and it has a leader skill. So I'm going to click on just a random unit. So let's say this Goku right here, right? So if I look at him, then you look at the leader skill, he's got Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans category plus Ki 4 and HP attack and defense plus 130. Now, you never really want to go for units that have just like a static plus number because it just doesn't scale very well. These percentages are the only things you're ever going to go for. A really good leader skill is anything from 130 to 170. You know, some of the base leader skills are only about 120, but this is category based. Now there's monotypes, which are, let's see if I can find one. I think this guy right here. Actually, hold on him. So he has super tech type or extreme tech type. The monotypes are, you know, just the color. But this God Goku right here, it's a category. So that means that every single unit in the category will get this buff, not just based off the color. This is typically what you're going to be running. Monotypes are really not meta right now. Categories are meta, so just only worry about categories. Unless, you know, there's a specific challenge and then you could sort by color. But I'll show you how to sort so that you're only seeing those in that category, right? So I pick my lead, then I can click on this sort button down here, right? I'm going to click it again just to make sure you guys saw it. It's down here, favorite. Okay, then what you can do is you can filter. Now you can filter by rarity. I'm not going to do that. Filter by, you know, color. Then you can filter by super or extreme. Now super, those are the good guys, you know, like Goku and Krillin and stuff like that. But extreme class, those are the bad guys like Broly and Turles and all those guys. So, since Goku's leader skill is Hybrid Saiyans or Pure Saiyans, I'm going to go here, select category. Now, it's going to take you a while to get used to where all the categories are. Now, when this game first started, there were no categories, so they've added a lot. There really is a lot to choose from. And, you know, there's a lot of really weird combo leader skills that make some pretty neat teams. But let's just say Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans. Now, if you think about those two things, there is no such thing as a unit that is both a Pure and a Hybrid Saiyan. So if I click this, I'm going to get no characters. So what you can do is you click this button up top. Then instead of making it a full match, it's a partial match, which means that it shows every unit that has at least one of those things on them, right? So now, here's all my Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyan category units. There's quite a bit, and I know it looks like I have a lot of units, and I realize that I do actually have a lot of units, but I've been playing this game forever. You know, a lot of these units are really old, they're not really good anymore, but I never get rid of any units. I cannot stress enough, do not get rid of units. There's no point to just throwing units away. You never know when they might get an easy A, and I'll go over easy A's in another video. But, so I'm just going to pick just some random characters, because right now I'm just trying to show you that that's how you sort. So I'd be like, oh, I want this guy, I want this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Okay, so I have a random team put together. You know, they're not a perfect meta team or whatever, but it's a team and they're all in the category. So I press confirm, and look at that. So now I have my total HP over here, and I have my total attack over here. All of these units are going to get buffed by the leader skill, and your team is going to be significantly stronger than if you weren't using a leader skill. You know, just like one of them standard ones that you get, you know, plus 300 attack. Those, it's not going to do anything for you. You're going to have a hard time. Actually, I'll show you what's going to happen. So look at my defense and HP right here. If I just transfer this to like some, you know, this SR Vegeta, what does he do? Phys type, attack and defense plus 20%. That's pretty bad. So I change it. Actually, it doesn't go down nearly as much as I thought it would, but Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is the actual number, by adding all of them up. But when you go into an event, this number is going to get multiplied by... It is going to get multiplied by 130%. So this total number right here gets multiplied by 130%. You have a huge health pool now. You shouldn't have any problems beating the event. Okay. Now let's talk about what makes a unit special besides their leader skill, right? So I was going to save this for another video, but this video is pretty short. So I'm going to go into what makes units unique and different types of units. So we'll talk about, I'll get one up right now. Let's talk about units that stack. Now, this guy is he's one of my favorite units in the game. He stacks, and that is a term that means that every time he does his super attack, he stacks his defense, right? So he's probably going to go out there and have like 130k defense, and that's going to be pretty good. But every single time he attacks, he raises his defense, I believe, by 50%. So in some of the really longer events, you could have this guy up to almost like 1,000,000 defense, which is absolutely ridiculous. Nothing will ever be able to damage you. And that's because it says right there, raises defense and causes colossal damage to the enemy. Now, there are units that will, I think this guy actually does, raises attack and defense for 1 turn. Now he'll get the same boost, but unfortunately he's not going to get the permanent boost, so it's a temporary boost. So he'll have like, I guess I'll say 300,000 attack right at the start of turn, and then when he attacks, his attack stat's going to go up to like 450,000 because he raises by 50%. Same thing goes for defense, right? So I guess I'll take you into an event so I can show you what I mean. But let's see if I can find a good one. So units can pretty much be attacked in several places. If they're in the first slot, they can be attacked before their turn starts, and hopefully you'll be able to see it in this one. And if they're attacked before, then that means that his, attack and defense raise isn't going to be implemented until this guy's another unit. So it's okay if I... Actually, no, he doesn't do it at all. Raises his attack for 1 turn, right? I'm not going to be able to find a specific moment in this short video, but pretty much, you could be getting attacked in the very first turn, and you'll be taking like 20k attack damage to your character, which isn't great. But then after they super attack, and they raise their defense by a whole bunch, they'll get attacked again after their turn that they've just went on, and this is all in 1 turn. This isn't after the rotation unless it's a stacking unit. And they could probably only take like 10k or even less, So taking your units into consideration and remembering, do they stack? Do they is it a 1-turn buff? And there are units that just can clean house, do a whole bunch of damage, but they have absolutely no defense. And so pretty much what you have to do is think about, what kind of event am I going after, right? Now I'm not going to do it because this is like a 25-minute event, and I don't feel like downloading a 25-minute video to YouTube. But right over here, the Legendary Goku event. This takes forever. But the reason it takes forever is because you go through every single form that Goku has ever had from Super. You don't go into GT stuff. So it starts off with base Goku right there, transforms into Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, 4, 5. Then he has, Ultra Instinct Omen and Ultra Instinct Mastered, and they get stronger every single time. And if you take some units that are like really, really strong at the start of turn, but they don't really build up and they don't get stronger as the battle goes on, you're going to clean house for the first couple turns. But as soon as you get towards the end, that UI Goku is probably just going to one-hit you. He's ridiculous. So that's why you got to figure out what kind of event you're going after, alright? And so we'll say, I'm going after the Legendary Goku event. So I want units that stack. So I can filter. Well, I'm not even gonna stay in the category. So I can go to skill effect, and then on super attack, I'm gonna say I want them to raise defense because I need to be able to stay alive, right? So now I have all my units that raise defense. And we got to take a look and see, is it just raise defense, or is it massively raise defense for one turn? Now, one turn is okay, but units like this guy, by the time he gets to the end, you know, he's fighting that Ultra Instinct Goku that does dumb damage to you when you're just getting tossed around the map like it's ridiculous. This guy, when he gets to that point, he's not going to be taking any damage. It's going to be easy street whenever he's on rotation. Same goes with, I believe, where is he? Oh, this guy, remember I was saying how great this guy is? He raises attack and defense. Every time he super attacks, he gets an additional attack boost and a defense boost. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you guys to grind this guy up. He is incredible. He will help you out through anything, including Legendary Goku event. But, you know, so let's build a team around that. So I'm going to stick on this lead because it's just such a well-versed team. You can get a lot of good units. So I have my raised defense. I'm going to say I definitely want this guy. He's incredible. I'm going to say I want... now there's... I guess we'll go into passive skills as well. Right? So, this guy's got quite a lot to look at. So he's got Ki 2 and then attack and defense at the start of turn. That means that immediately, as soon as he put into battle, his attack and defense is raised by 77%, which is great. However, nope, there's no stun. But this guy right here, whenever there's all the other stuff, you know, at this Ki plus 7 plus additional attack 58 and disables enemy guard when HP is 50%, 58% or less. Now that means he has a restriction on that part of his passive. So if you don't have that criterion met, he's just going to have the first part. And then there's another colon. Reduces damage by 58% when there is an ally whose name includes Goku, except for, you know, all the not really Goku characters attacking in the same turn. So, this guy is such a defensive god that if I would put him next to this Goku, or even, that's right, this Goku, because it's got Goku in the name, right there. So that's Goku and Vegeta. As long as it has Goku in the name and it's not one of the ones that was specifically not, you know, how it says except youth, except Captain Ginyu, etc. As long as it wasn't in those, this guy works. I mean, obviously when it transforms into Vegito, there's transforming units, and I'll take some time in a future video to talk about transformations and all that other jazz later. But as of now, I'll put him either next to the God Goku, I could put him next to this Goku, I could put him next to this one, I could put him next to this one, and he's going to reduce damage by 58% as long as they're in the same rotation. And it doesn't trigger more than once, by the way, so you can't have him reduce 58% damage twice. So, this guy, he's actually what the Legendary Goku event is kind of based off of. He transforms all the way up through all the forms, but as he's transforming, he raises his attack and defense. I want him to stack. This guy is just a really good unit, so it doesn't matter, I'm going to put him on. And then, I would say one of the better units to take on this would be this guy right here. This guy is an absolute monster. Greatly raises attack and defense and causes immense damage to enemy. He is increasing his attack and defense by so much every single turn. And look at that, guards all attacks. So that means that if there's a phase where Ultra Instinct Goku is Tech type. No, I'm sorry, Tech type. It's Int type, and he attacks this Tech guy. This guy's going to take extra damage because he's a type disadvantage. Now, since he guards all attacks, that means he's actually going to take less damage because even though he is Tech type, the game is acting like he's at type advantage, which is So powerful. And then every time he guards, he gets an additional 40% attack. So this guy is just doing dumb damage. He's stacking attack and defense, and he's guarding all attacks. This guy is such a defensive monster. I would say that maybe in the future video, when I actually attempt the Legendary Goku event, I might use this team, I might use someone else, but this is a good team that you could take into a longer event. And, you know, you could take this team into a shorter event as well. By no means that these units are weak, but there are certain events, you know, like Super Battle Road, where there is a unit. Let me just look for him because I don't know what categories he's under right now. But it's right up around here somewhere. This guy right here. Reduces damage received by 80% for 10 turns from the start of battle. So the Legendary Goku event is way longer than 10 turns, so for shorter events where you just really need to stay alive, this guy would be incredible, you know? So sometimes having a shorter event is good for units like this, but sometimes having a longer event is not good for this guy, because after that 10 turn limit, this guy is absolute trash. Now I'm gonna go over here to, this is his link skills, but this is the categories, right? So say you have a unit and you're like, oh, I really want to put them on a team, but I don't know if I can. You can go over to this page and be like, okay, he's on Pure Saiyans. And then this will actually bring up a list. I don't ever use this. I think it's just easier to sort by the units I have in my box. You know, Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta's Family, War of Your Rivals. So you can use this to be like, okay, I need to have a team that has at least one of these leads, or has at least a Super Strength lead, so that I can run this guy. And then you can just, you know, say, okay, I want a category. Let's say I want Super Saiyan 3. Now, something I always do, this is the tags. I will, this is going to be a long video, I'm sorry. I always tag my units that are leaders, right? So if it's above 120% and it's a category, not just a typing, then I give them a lead tag so that I can just tag over here and get it. And then you can edit your tag, you know, change its name by tapping on here. Actually, hold on. I think it's actually just tapping right there. You can change the name. And then to tag a unit, so I'll just go to some random unit, and I can edit, give him a tag. So I'll say, okay, what's he at? He gets a Super Saiyan 3 category, not by a lot, but he's a lead, so for the purpose of this video, I'll tag him. He's tagged. Now I go over to the leads. Here he is. Now, whenever I need a Super Saiyan 3 lead, I can just scroll over to my leads tag. Now I have some other ones like mono. This means like they only boost type. And then this one is super extreme rainbow. So this guy gives all super class 120. And then there's every time I rainbow a unit, you know, that little rainbow star on the bottom from the hidden potential system, I put them in their own tag. And then this is units that I can rainbow, but I don't have their super attacks leveled up because they're not very good, so I don't think it's worth it. And then this is link level 10. I'll go over links in another video. But this should be a pretty comprehensive guide on how to organize your units, how to build a team, how to look at their passives and knowing when their defensive raises are being used. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But as for now, good luck with building your teams, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.